Alright guys, I have about 10 minutes before I go to work, so I thought I'd quickly give you the rundown on what I got in the shop today and what it is. This is Ken's Westone-Electra Phoenix. Very cool guitar from 1984. I'll do a little bit more of the history of it and Westone-Electra in a little while. But he just needs some stuff rebuilt on it. He needs some small repairs. The action could be set up better. A lot of cleaning. This bridge is gnarly and about ready to go. Needs new knobs. He's gonna have some of these decals removed. There's other damaged parts and stuff like that, but this is gonna be more of a restoration slash preservation instead of any kind of crazy rebuild or anything like that.
Alright, so here we're just checking out some of the dust up here on the top of it. And we start breaking it down by unscrewing the bridge and the back plate. And this is crazy. When a guitar's been just hanging around for a while, it gets a little dusty. So you can see around the springs and the bridge. Check that out. And then we're gonna take a look at this truss rod cover. I think this is what's awesome about these old Japanese guitars. The thing is just molded perfectly to fit there, and it looks really cool. What I like about the quality of these old Matsumoku guitars. Here we are, just taking the bridge out. You see some oldness on the bridge, and there's a lot of damaged spots too, which we'll check out here in a little bit. There's the old springs and screws. I ended up replacing all the saddles, but I decided I wanted to save the bridge, so I had the original trim block with it, because it was a nice fat one for, helps with the sustain. You can see the damage and the nicks and all the marks and stuff where it's just been played. Nothing wrong with that. Just loosening all these guys here, because whenever I buff the top, it's a lot easier if these guys aren't poking through. Volume and tone knobs, which is cool. This guitar actually has dual coil taps. Pretty neat. Here's the truss rod cover before I did anything to it. It's all rusty. Definitely a little worse for wear. Here's the neck pocket with a little shim inside, and of course, stuff from the factory, and all this gonna get cleaned out as well. The electronics were on point, man. They did a great job wiring this at the factory and heat shrinking everything. And all the parts are metal. That's actually a metal backplate right there. And it grounds all the way through the backplate. See these little foil strips that come up? They actually ground themselves on the metal of the backplate. So it helps to shield the electronics that way and keep everything nice and grounded. Just taking more parts off. I was kind of admiring how smooth these things still were after so long. Just the tuners are in great shape. Pudding is important. Always. Here we are using some light to heat the decal so it becomes easy to peel off. You gotta kind of know how long to do this, because you don't want to accidentally boil up your finish. It really doesn't take about more than 30 seconds. And you see how it just peels off, where before you couldn't hardly get it off. Then I use a little bit of acetone to clean it up. Again, don't go overboard. Just use what you need to get the residue off. This guy was cool. Can I defeat the dragon? Yes, I can. See all the stuff left behind. There he is. Let me clean all that off. And a whole lot more dust. Some of these dings and stuff are going to get buffed out. You see how well that came off? This is for sanding out scratches, and right now we're sanding down that plate in super speed. There we go, looking nice. All these screws come out. They're meant to be adjustable, so you can actually take them all the way out. We put them in a mineral bath, like I like to do, and let them sit for a few hours. Somebody in the Matsumoku factory in 1984 wrote these numbers down here and put this letter K there and this red mark. Probably means the neck pocket fit right and the inspection was passed. And then under the pickup, you have this serial number for the body. Looks like 5810.0
347. I wonder if that means something else. And of course, on the back of the headstock, you have this serial number, 4021649. So I wonder if they have different serial numbers corresponding to different parts, or if the one on the neck is the actual guitar serial number and this is just for the body, or maybe the type of guitar. I don't know. It's pretty freaking cool though.
Is there some cleaned up pickup rings here? And here we are, we're sanding out some scratches. If I have to, I'll go all the way down to 800 if I'm just doing a rebuff and stuff like that, but I think I only went to 1,000 on this one and then up to 3,000, and then I buffed it, so it came out very shiny after all that stuff. Here's all the parts. You see all the nastiness coming off of them. I didn't save any of those springs. I just put them in there to see if I was going to use them later, but I decided not to. Got new ones instead. Cleaning out all the little parts to go back into the pickups. And I think the pickups came out looking great. Just be careful not to screw these down so far that you put pressure on the back side of the bobbin. You don't want to stretch your coil out or anything like that. But yeah, nice and clean. And here we go, sanding off the edges of that big chip. We're not going to try to match this paint because it's got a neat flake to it. We decided we wanted to keep it as original as we could to kind of preserve it. So we're just sealing up the holes. And this is the bridge after I've sanded off a lot of the flaky parts of the paint and everything. We're going to go ahead and repaint all that. This is just finishing buffing the neck here. It came out looking great. There's the first coat of primer. I actually had to cut out all the little, that's for polishing the frets there. I actually had to cut out the Made in Japan logo out of the primer because the primer filled it in, so I had to cut that out. And then we painted it and baked it for 3 hours at a low heat to really seal in that shell. That's what it was before, and that's what it is after. Can't even tell all that damage is there. Came out looking great. And I went ahead and matted the back plastic parts. I think the guitar came out looking great. I didn't get footage of restringing it and all that stuff, and maybe it'll be have Ken come over and play it in a video sometime, but I'm pretty happy with it. So if you guys need any work done, hit me up and let me know. And Ken was very happy with his guitar, and that's the most important thing. Giving life back to an old instrument. Like, share, and subscribe. Help me out. Thanks, guys.